I have two brand new Moira palettes that have been sitting in their mailer for the past month. I bought these at the end of April when Moira was having a buy one get one half off sale, and I haven't gotten into them yet because I wanted them to still be pretty when I did the swatches and the overhead. The first one is I'm Falling For You. They come in this super cute packaging. It looks like a book, and you open it here and then there's these flaps, and inside is a little card and then the palette itself. It has some embossing and it's just really pretty. Let's see what the card says. Whoop. I'm falling for you. Oh, it's a blank card that I can send to someone else, and it has this little gold seal that you can seal the envelope with. That is super cute. Okay. And then the palette has a magnetic flap here that helps close it, and it opens. Oh, shade saver. And look at those beautiful colors. Cool toned pinks, purples, neutrals. Oh, so pretty. And embossing of a heart and an envelope and other things like that. Just super pretty. Then the other one is from their newest collection, the Moira Land series. This one is Magic Dreaming, and it's a carnival theme. So when we open this box, it doesn't have the flaps like the envelope. It just slides out like that. And I mean, you've even got like the little carnival map in there. Isn't that adorable? And again, you've got the little magnetic flap to open it. And there's a little strip of tickets that say admit one. And then they have QR codes on the back. I haven't scanned this, so I don't know what that does. Also, when you order from Moira, you get a card that gives you 15% off your next order. This is so pretty. Again, we've got the shade saver with the fun stuff on it. But look at these colors. This one's much more colorful. You still have some neutrals in here, so if you're not all in on color, you can do kind of a neutral eye and then a pop of color just on the lid, and that would be super pretty too. I'm going to do some swatches of these, and I will be back to put one of these on my eyes. I'm going to swatch the I'm Falling For You palette first. Moira does have different formulas for their shimmer shades. Some of them are a little more foiled and others are a little more topperish. And so depending on how you like your shimmers, you might or might not like that. Okay, so I've got my arm in here and I'm going to go across each row and swatch those. So we've got Unexpectedly, Love Notes, My Love. That was very soft, by the way. Me and You, and Sweethearts. Ooh, Sweethearts has some pink glitter in with that gold. That's really pretty. Row 2 is For You, In Love, Unconditional, Still Falling, and My Everything. These shimmers are much more foiled and pigmented than the ones in the Chasing Eternity palette. There were more topper shades in that palette. And then the last row is Soulmates, Dreamy, oh that's pretty, Everyday, Lucky, and Meant to Be. This palette actually looks pretty versatile. You could go with a purpley look or more pinks, or you could get the Bronze Goddess look with some neutrals and the golds. Very, very pretty. All right, and now for the Magic Dreaming palette from the Moira Land series. Just look at these even before I put them on as a swatch. Oh man, you want to be a mermaid. This is the palette. Okay, so we've got Midnight Fun, Mood, All Mine. Wow. Oh, that's gorgeous. Fireworks. That was one swatch, and for purple, that's amazing. Purples are hard. And then Carnival. All right, row 2, Universal. What a pretty blue. Ferris Wheel. It's Magical. It's a Date. And Sensational. Oh man, these are pretty. All right, and then wrapping up with Adventures, Best Ever, Dreamland, that's a pretty purple. Wow. Yay. And Joy. Joy's a little patchy. There we go. So this one is definitely a deeper overall palette and much more colorful. And I take back everything I said about Moira having their shimmers being more topper shades, because the only one in this palette I think that is kind of toppery would be this one, and it's even still just beautiful, especially if you put it over, if you put this down as a lid color and then put that over it, that's going to be gorgeous. So I think looking at this after being swatched, you can tell that there are, some of the shimmers are really soft. You can see there's a bigger divot in them, and others of them are pressed more firmly into the palette, like these down here. I was pressing pretty much the same on all of them. I don't know which one I want to use. All right, we're gonna do this palette because I think it's gonna go better with my shirt, but I'm not gonna do the pinks because I always do pink looks. I'm gonna go purple. Going to go first into Everyday right here, and I'm just gonna sweep that with a fluffy brush, kind of in this transition above the crease up to my brow bone. And this is just gonna be like quick, get that color on there and then move on. And it's in the outer V area here a little bit too. When you're using a really big fluffy brush like this, be really careful when you get to the outer edge that you don't fill in down here if you already have your makeup on. If you're going to clean up afterwards, it doesn't matter. You can get as wild as you want because you can clean it up. But I've already got all my base products on. I'll have everything listed that I have on my face, by the way, down in the description box below. And so I'm going to be a little careful not to get down into this area. If I do, I can clean it up still, but it's easier just not to. So I dab the color on with my loose eyelids, crepey eyelids. If I just start swiping right away, it gets patchy, but if I dab it on like that and then start the blending, the color is distributed more evenly. So that, I mean, that's really all I'm doing right there is to get that color there. Okay, so the next color that they have in here to deepen up the crease and outer edge is this Lucky, and it is a purple color, but it's kind of a brownish purple and it's really deep. So I am going to be super careful about putting this on and then blending it in. I'm taking a denser, fluffier brush and I'm just barely tapping in there. I just went one time, boop, like that. And then I'm going to stamp that color where I want it, lifting that outer edge and then bringing it across the crease a little bit. Remember, easier to add than take away. You can always build more, but especially when you're using something new and you're not sure about the pigment or how blendable it is, start slow and add. Okay, a little bit more. And again, I'm just kind of getting the color where I want it, and then I'm going to take another fluffy brush and blend it. This brush is almost too big and fluffy, but I'll make it work. So you can see how I'm starting to increase the depth in the outer corner there and the difference in the other side. So let me do this other side again, just barely tap. Put the color where you want it, roughly, and then go in with your fluffy brush and blend. These shadows blend so easily. Really, really like Moira's formula. I played with it a little bit more, went back and forth between my dense brush to deposit some color and my fluffy brush to blend it, and I kind of went in a little bit on the outer third of the lid there as well. And now I'm ready for some shimmers. I'm going to do one eye with my finger, one eye with a brush, so we can see which way we like it better. I'm going to use Still Falling on the outer portion of my lid, and then I'm going to use Unconditional on the inner half of the lid. So there's Still Falling, and I'm just going to put that over that darker shadow that I have on the outer area of the lid. And I would imagine if you wet your finger or wet your brush, you would get even more pigment, but this is fine. This is what I'm looking for. For the other side, I'm going to use a flat shader brush, and actually, you know what? I'm going to use a smaller one because I want to be able to be more precise. And pat that on. It does move quite a bit in the pan, so we want to be careful not to get too many chunks. And I'm going to put... Okay, not happy with it with a brush at all, but the other thing I'm going to do before I get more on there is I'm going to take my hard candy glitter glue, glitter stay, and put a little of that on this eyelid, because then I'll be able to see which one does better with fallout. And I just tap that in so that it's kind of dry but still a little tacky. And since I already determined that I didn't like the brush, I'm going to use my finger again and tap that on the glitter. When I use the glitter glue, my creases want to stick together, and so it's helpful if I straighten out my eyelid when I'm putting that on. Both sides look about the same. I will let you know in the comments if the glitter glue helped with fallout. Okay, now unconditional was the lighter purple, almost a pinky purple, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion. Wow, that is shiny. That's pretty. Okay, and again on the glitter side, glitter glue side. Can you tell any difference? Is one side shinier than the other? I don't know, but those are so pretty. Okay, now we're going to do a little more blending. So I'm going back to that brush that I had the deeper color on, but I'm not adding anything to it, and I'm just blending the tops of these shimmers and pulling that deeper color a little bit more into the crease. And then I'm going back to my initial one with the lighter purple, that Everyday, and blending out the crease into the transition. That's very pretty. I'm going to take a liner brush into Lucky, and I'm going to pull that under the outer portion of my lash line, just to kind of connect what's happening on the lid to the lower lash line, and then take a flat shader that's clean and just kind of smudge that so it's not too harsh. And then I'm going to just press it into the upper lash line and use it for eyeliner as well. If you wet this, you would get more pigment, but I want it to be kind of soft, just to darken up the base of my lashes. And finally, I'm going to go into For You for an inner corner. I could use For You or Love Notes, but For You is a little pinker than the other one. And I'm just going to pop that right into the inner corner. Like that. I'm not going to do any tight lining today. I really like the way that looks. So I'm going to put on some mascara, and I'll be right back to talk about this palette again. I did use the Moira Volume and Lifting Mascara. I really like this. It does a great job of separating your lashes and giving volume. It doesn't do a lot for length, but you can concentrate on the tips with like a second or third coat and get a little more on the length, but it does a great job with volume. So what do I think of this I'm Falling For You palette? I love it. I can't wait to do more looks, and I think what I'll do is I'll do some shorts to see what kind of variety I can get out of this one. If you want to see a video of a look with this palette, let me know down in the comments, and let me know what color theme you want me to go with. The greens, the pinks and purples, the kind of bronzies, that would be helpful as well. So with these two palettes, I have doubled my Moira collection. You can see my other two over there. And while I think the packaging is beautiful, my only complaint is the thickness of it because they do get difficult to store. But I kind of like how they look like books on my shelf. So I'm going to see if I can get these to fit in. My shelf's getting a little crowded up there. I might have to take this little guy down, although it is really pretty. If you like the look I came up with, let me know down in the comments. And also by giving it a thumbs up, that will help me to know that you want to see more of this kind of video. And it will also let YouTube know to push it out to other people who might like it as well. If you like colorful looks, I'm going to put another video with a colorful eye look up there. But if you're more into neutrals, I'll put one down there for you. I hope that you have a beautiful, blessed day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!